Hey guys, Josh here and welcome back to Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town, and in today's video I'll be giving you a full tour of Maple Farm. We're now on the third year, so we're on the 22nd day of summer, and especially for the last few months I've been working so hard on getting this farm ready for a tour, but I'm now ready to show you around. So yeah, let's just start because as you can see the clock is ticking. For this tour I'll do it with a camera, so I'll give you a first person perspective because I feel like it's a bit more immersive. However, at the end of the tour I'll also be walking around just normally so you can get a different view of the farm as well. And yeah, I hope this will give you some inspiration for your farm layout or give you some ideas. But yeah, it's now 9 a.m. so let's just start. So here's my house. First of all, I've got the last house, so I've got the extra room on the right side and there's a lot of space in there, so I like it. And when you look over here, excuse the frame rate drop and I'm stuck. Alright, so over here, so we've got the first area, and so for the first area I wanted to get a more like fancy or chic aesthetic, so I went with the brick paths and lots of flowers. So as you can see I have hibiscus and marigold. And over here I made a little patio, so unfortunately you can't put furniture on top of the path, so my little table is on the grass, but other than that I have my little patio. And yeah, I like this little area, and I've got some fruit trees, some banana trees, and if you come over here on the beach I made this little boardwalk with some benches so you can sit here and look at the beautiful ocean. And then you come back here, and as you can see over here we have the hydroculture plant. So I wanted to put it near my house because it's just more convenient this way, and it just makes the area a bit more lively. So I decided to plant some flowers here, and so yeah, that's the hydroculture. Here I've got my wolf, and I put my seed maker at the back so it's not too visible. I try to hide my makers as much as I can. And on this side right here I've got some storage. I'm using this storage a lot, and I wasn't sure how to decorate this area in front of the first mine. There's really not a lot of space. I couldn't place any paths and make anything look good, so I decided to put this little alpaca topiary, and it kind of blocks the way to the first mine, but I never need to go in there anyway. So yeah, I just like this little view here. I think it's not too bad. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the first area. It's not the most practical area, but I just wanted to make an area that looks kind of chic and lots of flowers. So yeah, let's go to area number 2. So over here, as you can see around my paths, I have some flowers once again, and also these bushes. So actually these bushes are tea leaves. So there's such a good way to decorate around your farm and just create some bushes. And actually for the flowers, so if you plant flowers they're gonna wilt after the season, so in autumn I'm gonna have to plant different flowers. But the great thing about the tea leaves is that they grow in spring, summer and autumn, so you can just plant them once and they're gonna stay for almost the whole year. And over here we've got our crops. So usually I would plant watermelons in the summer, but I just wanted this to look pretty for the tour, so I've planted lots of different crops. So basically I have 8 of these big squares, so I've got 192 crops. I don't need more than that, otherwise it's a lot of work. And here I've got a horse, so I have one mount in each area, so no matter where I am I always have like a horse or something nearby. And over here we've got mine number 2. I also barely go in there. And here we've got our little sunflower field, so I always grow my flowers here. And then I have some chests to put them at the back, and also to make some dyes, make some essence. And I like the sunflowers because they're a good way to just hide the chests and the makers because they're just so big. But yeah, so that's our flower area. And over here on the other side we have a little garden, so we're gonna go over there right now. As you can see I have lots of flowers and bushes, so let me just cross that. Alright, so here we just have a little garden, and I cleaned it yesterday but I still have some trees and grass growing again. But yeah, initially I wanted to make a Japanese style garden, so I used these stone lamps. But actually there's not that much Japanese furniture in this game. We've got this sugar cane that kind of looks like bamboo, so since they spawned around this area, I decided to make my little garden here. Just a little cozy area with a little picnic table. And if you come over here, we have another kind of like little boardwalk near the beach. And I have some seeds in there and just like banana and coconut trees. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this area right here. And so I wanted to make just a nice little area with a few crops. And since it's summer, I decided to plant lots of tropical crops. So I have my pineapples, my watermelons. I also have a few trees. So I have coconuts, mangoes, bananas, yeah, and a little parasol table just to sit down and chill by the ocean. Yeah, and also have my seasoning maker here, because in this area you're gonna get lots of pepper and like sugarcane and stuff. So I'm using this little seasoning maker whenever I do need something. And now we're gonna go to area 3. So the first thing is over here. So that's where the hydroculture plant used to be. But I decided to put all of my mushrooms here, and it's just perfect because you can fit the 20 mushroom logs. So that's the maximum you can have. And they just fit perfectly in here. And just to make the area look a little bit better, I decided to plant some coffee trees at the back. So it just adds some more details, and I let the grass grow. So I think it doesn't look too bad, because it's hard sometimes when you put all of these mushroom logs in one area. It doesn't look too good, but with the trees and the grass, I think it's not too bad. And I have one spore maker. I wish I had more, but I don't have much more space. So it's very slow, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's the mushroom area. And just beside over here, we have our barn. So I have 2 barns. There's one for the wool animals and one for the milk animals. So let's just go in. Of course, I have my other horse here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I have 3 silage here. So all of my fodder goes in there. I also have another silage near my chicken coop, which you'll see in a moment. But yeah, that's where my animals hang out. And yeah, my little barn area. And over here, we've got a nice little chill area with a bench. And if you go down here, you just go to the beach. And you can't decorate the beaches in this game, so there's not much to show you over there. Oh, and we've got a little bear today. As you can see, I've got my beehives right there. So there's very, very often I got a little bear visiting. So that's always nice. And yeah, so as you can see, my sorry, we're kind of stuck. My beehives are kind of separated in 2 areas. So I have a few here, and I have a few there as well. I used to have them all together, but just like the mushroom logs, it doesn't look that good if you have too much of just like one thing. So I wanted to separate them a little bit with this path and some fences. And also, even though you can have up to 20 beehives, since I have a lot of money right now, I don't really need much more than what I have. So it is fine as it is. But yeah, so we've got a little beehives, and I see the sun is starting to set, so we're gonna hurry up a little bit. So over here, just some flowers, and if you go down, you go to the beach. And oh, we've got a little ermine hanging out around here. And here's my chicken coop. So I decided to put my makers on the left side so we don't see them too much. And also I like letting these trees grow on the edge of the cliff. I think that's pretty much the only place where they look good and they're not too annoying. So I've got my chicken coop here. I'm gonna have to take care of these little saplings. But yeah, chicken coop here. I just have one of these. And over here, we have the very colorful kind of path. So I've got all of my mango trees right here with some hibiscus, sunflowers, and at the end right here, so it leads to the 3rd mine. And at first I wanted to make the path go to the bridge, but since this path is not lining up perfectly, it was kind of very hard to make anything that looked good. So I decided to just put this little fountain with a little alpaca topiary and some fruit trees, some lamps. So I think it turned out not too bad. And over here, I've got my honey makers. So I'm trying to hide them behind my chicken coop. So like if you're here, you barely see them. And unless you really go out of your way to look for them, they're not going to be bothering the aesthetics of the farm. And you're probably wondering where my other makers are, especially like my lumber makers and my ingot makers. Well, actually, I put all of them in my winter garden. So they're out of the way and I just have more space to make my farm pretty. So the only makers that I have a lot of on my farm are the honey makers. But yeah, as you can see, I try to hide them as much as possible. And now let's go over here. All right, so here is where I plant my wheat, my rice, my tea, and my beans. So you need some of these for cooking. So I have these 2 little fields. So it's always useful to have some of these with a little scarecrow. I think it looks pretty cute. And over there I have like a little condiment maker. And just like the honey makers, I'm trying to hide all of the milk related makers behind the silage. So once again, I think they're pretty well hidden. And I planted all of these fruit trees as well. So you don't see them too much. but they're still there and very easy to access from the barn. And yeah, here I've got some flowers, so that's the other pond. And over here we have a nice little area with some olive trees, some grape trees, some flowers, a little picnic table. And I left these little stumps here because if you don't know, when you have stumps you get a chance of getting monkeys. So my plan is for this area to be kind of like a little monkey enclosure, but they don't appear very often. I think I would need to have maybe 3 stumps to increase the chance. But yeah, sometimes I'm gonna have little monkeys hanging around in this little kind of park, so that's good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys, for my farm tour. So I'm gonna go around and just show you like this just by walking around normally. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this gave you some ideas for your own farm. Feel free to copy anything of my layout or take inspiration. Also, if you're interested in sharing pictures of your farm, we have a Discord server where there's a little gallery, so feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description and you can share your pictures on there. And yeah, let me know, guys, what you think. But yeah, that's my farm. And if you're new here, feel free to click like and subscribe if you want to see more Story of Seasons content like this. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue walking around and show you. And keep in mind that for the first 2 years and even before the 3rd summer, my farm looked like a huge mess. So a lot of people are telling me that their farm looks like a mess, but don't be too harsh on yourself. Just take your time to decorate and eventually you'll get there. There's no time limit in this game, so even if it takes 5 years for your farm to look like you want it to look, that's totally fine, because this game is all about taking your time and just enjoying the seasons and yeah, just enjoying the game, right? So yeah, I feel like I don't have too much more to say at this point, and I think you've seen pretty much everything. So let me know which part was your favorite. But yeah, and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see next. But that's gonna be pretty much it for me, guys, today. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.